I get 30 to 50 headshots a game and unlock dark matter for the second time on every gun with just 1 day and 9 hours of in-game playtime. The vast majority of it taking place in Stakeout 24/7, with a little extra help from a brand new game mode they added. This is the complete and updated guide to unlock the dark matter camo in Black Ops 6. It's going to have every update you need to know to unlock this as fast as possible. So if this is the first mastery camo you're ever going to unlock, are still working on it, or just have some DLC weapons left to do, let's lock in and start camo grinding. The Stakeout 24/7 playlist is where you're going to complete every camo challenge except for one. This small map has increased match durations compared to every other playlist in the game. So in Domination, when you're used to matches going to a score of 200, in Stakeout 24/7, the match ends when a team gets 250 points. I'm no mathematician, but I also don't need a calc to know that these longer matches allow for faster camo progression rather than it being over in just a few minutes. What makes Stakeout the best map in the game for camo grinding is not only is it one of the smallest, but it has a mirrored layout. Spawn trapping is extremely easy to learn, meaning you're going to get used to it and be able to take advantage of the spawns to know where your enemies are before you even see them, meaning you can get that camo progression done that much faster. It may take a game or few, but it's pretty easy. Stakeout has been a staple playlist in Black Ops 6 for quite a few months now, but that doesn't mean the devs won't make an absolute genius decision and remove the playlist. If that ever happens, Face Off 24/7 is a great second option. It contains other small maps, including Stakeout. It's not as good as Stakeout 24/7, but it is a close second, and you also can rely on Nuketown 24/7 and the small map 24/7 playlist. Let's get into the camo challenges. Headshots are the majority of the camo grind because every gun needs 100 of them, excluding the launchers and melees, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. You have two options, the core and hardcore version of the Stakeout 24/7 playlist. If you're working on guns like the sniper rifles, which are already one-shot headshots, unless you're a masochist, there's no need to go to hardcore because you'll just be at a disadvantage since every other weapon in the game can kill you way faster. The same does go for melee weapons. Of course, you're not trying to knife everyone in the head for headshots, but there's no point bringing a knife to a gunfight where the guns are going to kill you even faster than they normally would. I'd like to think that's pretty self-explanatory, but these days you never know. When I camo grind any other weapon, I'm in the hardcore playlist because I know as long as I shoot them in the head once, it's going to be a headshot because it's a one-shot kill. And that doesn't matter if it's an assault rifle, shotgun, or pistol. But speaking of shotguns, headshots can be weird without the slug rounds sometimes, where you're aiming at the head but you won't get a headshot because the pellet that does the lethal damage doesn't hit their head. So what I do when I'm going for headshots on a shotgun, like the Maelstrom, I'll aim just above the head to guarantee that it's a headshot. This next statement's going to be a complete shocker, and you guys might need to sit down for a minute after I say it. When going for headshot challenges, you should be aiming at the head. I know, that's crazy news, but it's true. If you're not aiming for the head every time you're trying to kill an enemy, you're not going to be making camo progression if you shoot them anywhere else. And okay, there's the counter argument. If I'm always aiming for the head and I'm not the most accurate player, I'm going to die a lot. And that would be a problem if you're playing on a map like Red Card where you have to run a mile before you find your next enemy after respawn. We're playing on Stakeout. It is going to take you less than a couple of seconds to get back into the fight. And the last couple things for headshots, if you don't like the iron sights that you're using because they impair your vision, throw on an optic. It doesn't matter what optic you're using. Find something you like, and you might find that you have a clearer picture and can get headshots a little bit easier. You also don't have to exclusively get headshots in hardcore. If you want to use hardcore for just those weapons that you're going to struggle with, that's completely fine. I get hardcore is a frustrating mode to play. And don't forget that you only need to complete all camo challenges on 33 weapons in the game. It doesn't matter what they are, but that means you're able to skip out on some of those more annoying ones. To unlock the dark matter camo, you will also need to own Black Ops 6, which you can pick up for a discounted price for any platform on G2A.com. They're also having their simulator promo event right now, so if you're into sim games like Schedule 1 or any of the other titles, you can pick them up for a discounted price and have them delivered instantly to your account. G2A.com is your gate to adventure, and thanks to them for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Back to camo grinding. Once you've sat there and you've aimed at people's heads for the past hour, you'll be able to go on to your next camo category, which is the special camos. Each weapon is going to have 2 of the following challenges, and these are so easy to complete, especially in Stakeout. They take almost 0 brain function. All of those challenges are kills while moving, kills shortly after sprinting, hipfire kills or kills without aiming down sight, kills without taking damage, kills with a suppressor equipped, kills with a 4 times or larger optic equipped, kills with an underbarrel launcher equipped, kills with the recon, enforcer, or strategist combat specialty active, one-shot kills, point blank, a distance of 1 meter or less kills, direct hit or direct impact metal kills, specifically for the launchers, kills shortly after switching weapons or the hot swap metal kills, 2 kills without releasing the trigger, 2 kills without reloading, and 5 kills in a single match 3 times. If you did notice, there was one camo challenge that I left off that list, and that's long shots. The 3 base weapons that have this camo challenge are the Sarkov 7.62 and DM10 marksman rifle, and the LR 7.62 sniper rifle. Now the long shot range for the marksman rifles is 38 or more meters, while the snipers is 50.8. This isn't possible on Stakeout, which is why we need to play other maps. I do the long shot challenges on Nuketown. I lay on the grass in the backyard of the greenhouse by the white picket fence and kill all of the enemies that come from the yellow house's garage. You can also do vice versa, where you lay down in the garage, where the door enters the house, and shoot enemies in the green backyard. Sometimes Nuketown is a little too hectic for long shots, but you can do long shots in most core maps in any 6v6 playlist. I've been neglecting the melees and launchers. Odds are you're not going to include them as part of your camo grind. But if you're him, this is how you tackle these beasts. And no, I'm not talking about your mother. All melees only require kills as their base camo challenge. As mentioned earlier, you are going to be playing in core, but core also has the new overdrive mode in Stakeout 24/7. This means when you get kills, you can run even faster, and for melees, that means everything. As you get more kills, you'll get even more personal upgrades, like seeing enemies through walls temporarily, which is great. And this isn't just exclusively good for the melee weapons. Any gun in the game, it doesn't matter, can take advantage of this mode and make camo progression even easier on top of playing Stakeout. The only downside is the hardcore version of Stakeout doesn't have this mode. But if you're ever struggling with a weapon, hardcore is not the only thing you can use to help you out. I did a lot of my snipers and melees on overdrive. When looking back now, I kind of wish I did more weapons just because of how fun the mode is and easy to camo grind on. When it comes to launchers, you either need kills or destructions. It is also only 50, so it's relatively easy. If you run the engineer perk, which is in the blue category, you can see enemies' equipments through walls. Now on Stakeout, you're not going to get any kill streaks because they're not allowed in that mode. So you're only going to be able to find things like field upgrades and blast traps. While we're here, let's cover their mastery camo challenges. I'll go more in depth on what each mastery camo needs as a requirement to unlock in a second. For gold launchers, you need to destroy 3 score streaks or enemy equipment and field upgrades in a single match 10 times. Not every match you're going to have on Stakeout is going to have enemies throwing blast traps, but when you're running engineer and you're trying to do launcher challenges, if you notice that you start seeing red things through walls, take out your launcher and get those camo challenges done as soon as possible. Diamond, really easy. Get 3 kills in a single match 10 times. In hardcore Stakeout, you can get this camo challenge done in a single match. Dark Spine is a repeat of gold, but you now have to destroy 5 in a single match. And then Dark Matter is a repeat of Diamond, but you now have to get 5 kills in a single match 3 times, which is even easier because on Stakeout 24/7 in hardcore, You just get 15 kills in one match. You're done. Dark Matter, launchers, never again. So here is where we get into the mastery camo challenges. Every bullet weapon and melee share the same 4 mastery camo challenges. They are really easy on paper and even easier in stakeout. We'll also talk about the requirements of what you need prior. First is gold. You just need to complete those headshots, kills, and special camos. Then all you need to do is get 10 double kills, which do stack. So if you end up getting a quad feed, that counts as 2 progression towards your double kills. On stakeout, you will be getting double kills left, right, and center. If you go on mega kills or crazy kill streaks where you're killing lots of enemies really fast, that's going to be progression towards gold, and you're going to get that camo challenge done, which seems like in seconds. Eventually, you'll get to the diamond camo, and this does have a prerequisite. If you go into the menus and you go to your challenges and you go to the camo category, you'll notice each weapon category has a specific number of weapons you have to complete before you can unlock the diamond camo challenge. Just complete that number of gold weapons in that specific weapon category, and then you can work on the challenge, which is getting 3 kills without dying 10 times. Another camo challenge that does stack. Stakeout does get really hectic, so some guns you might struggle with a little bit more than others. And when you're trying to stay alive, it's really hard to focus on killing enemies when you're so worried about it. Trust me, the less you think about getting 3 kills in a single life, the easier it will be. We'll see this camo challenge again for Dark Matter. Now, once we have the diamond camo unlocked on 33 weapons, it doesn't matter what they are, we can then do the Dark Spine challenge, which is achieving triple kills or better with the weapon. The same thing goes for what we saw in gold. The camo challenge does stack, and even though it says triple kills or better, if you get 6 kills in quick succession of one another, that's going to be 2 progression out of your 3 for each weapon. And once again, we're on stakeout. It's extremely easy to spawn trap, find enemies, and get these challenges done. And hardcore does make that way easier because you can kill enemies in 1 to 2 bullets depending on what you're using. And then once Dark Spine has been unlocked on 33 weapons, you'll get the Dark Matter challenge available to complete, which is the same as Diamond, except we now need 5 kills in a single life. The hardest obviously being the melee weapons. If you're struggling, use smoke grenades. It's kind of difficult on stakeout because of how close quarters and hectic the map is. I just hide in the bedrooms until I actually kill 5 enemies, and eventually when I do it enough times, Dark Matter on the melees. That's every single camo challenge in the game when it comes to multiplayer. There is really no difficult challenges. Dark Matter is not a difficult grind, but it is tedious when you look at things like 100 headshots on every weapon. Remember, you can pick and choose what 33 weapons you want to do for Dark Matter. If you want to skip out on pistols, snipers, and melees, you're able to do that. You don't have to touch them at all. When scrolling through the menus and looking at what you need to do, it really is as easy as it seems, especially on stakeout 24/7. The hardest part of the grind is just learning the spawns. Once you do learn them, it makes the camo grind so much easier, and that's the most important part. It doesn't matter if you end up getting into the unemployed lobbies later on in your grind once you get better at the map. When you're spawn trapping, especially in hardcore, it doesn't matter how good the player is, they're not going to be able to react fast enough if you're watching them spawn in front of you. I also recently talked about the Abyss camo grind and how difficult it used to be and how easy it's become. The same thing happens here on multiplayer with Dark Matter. I want to burn it into your memory. Stakeout really is that easy for this camo grind. I unlocked, it's got to be over 50 now. 50 weapons worth of Dark Matter camo challenges in 1 day and 9 hours of in-game playtime. My first time around, there was no stakeout 24/7, and it took more than 2 days of in-game playtime. Best of luck on completing your Dark Matter camo grind. It's a lot easier now, but I would say it's still the hardest camo grind in the game when you compare it to something like Nebula and Abyss, now that there is the casual mode in Warzone.